Today's word is evaluate. Evaluate, which is when you think about something and you judge it. Does it work or not work? Is it good? Do you like it? Like you could evaluate my drawing of a cat. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Let's move on. So thinking about the word evaluate, it's quite a long word. Evaluate. So it has 4 syllables, 4 claps. Evaluate. You can tap it. Evaluate. You could even bang it. Evaluate. You can read it. Evaluate. Do what helps you recognise the word when you hear it and when you read it. You can evaluate different ways of remembering the word evaluate. But as well as recognising the word, we also need to know what it means. So I'll use my dictionary where it explains that evaluate is where you consider something, you think about it and you judge it. So you decide whether it's good or bad, whether it works or doesn't work. And we can learn more about evaluate by completing our word map.
Here's our word, evaluate, starting as we always do, read for what you said. So thinking about the sound of the word, it begins with an I sound. We write it as an E, but it's an I sound, evaluate. And like I said earlier, evaluate has got 4 syllables. Evaluate. So there's the sound structure, begins with an I, although we write it as an E, evaluate. So, green for what we mean, thinking about the meaning of the word. So evaluate, it's when we think about something, we consider it. So we're thinking about it carefully and we're deciding, we're judging. Is it good? Is it good? Does it work? Do you like it? Was it a success? So these are the kind of questions we're thinking when we're evaluating something. We're thinking about, is it good or bad? Does it work? Did it not work? What do we have to change? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like something else more? Was it a success? Or do we need to try again, try something different? So when we're doing that, we are judging something. We're judging whether it worked, whether we liked it, whether it was a success. We're judging something. And my picture for evaluate, very simple. It will sum that up. So I'll do another little oval here and I'll put a tick and a cross. Did it work? Did it not work? Is it good? Is it not good? And a happy face. Do you like it? Or do you not like it? Because that's what you're doing. You're evaluating, you're judging. Is it good or bad? Does it work? Not work? Do I like it or not like it? These are your evaluations. Blue for when to use. When do we use this word? You would certainly use it in science. You could say in science we had to evaluate, underline that, there's our word, we had to evaluate the success of an experiment. Did it work? Was it successful? Do we need to try something different? Do we need to change something next time to make it work? In sport, the There's a lot of evaluation in sport. Maybe the coach of a football team, the coach would evaluate, so the coach evaluates players on, let's say it is a football team, on the football team. So the coach is evaluating players, thinking about their strengths. What's their best position? What do they need to work on? What do they need to improve? And then finally, grey for another way. So other ways you might hear the word or see the word, read the word. So when you're judging something, that's what you're doing. You are evaluating. And when you've finished, you have evaluated something. So evaluating, evaluated. And this is a very important word here, an evaluation. So when something has been evaluated, that's what you're left with, an evaluation of something. So for example, an exam is an evaluation of your learning. But even when you finish school, you still get evaluated. For example, teachers will have an evaluation as well. So they'll have an evaluation of how they're getting on with their work. Squeeze that in here. Hopefully you can see that. Let me move the visualizer down a bit. So that is our word map here for evaluate. Think about the sound structure, begins with an evaluate, and what we're doing, we're thinking about something. We're deciding, we're judging. Is it good? Does it work? Do you like it? Was this a success? In science, you might evaluate the success of an experiment. In sport, there's a lot of evaluation. Coach might evaluate players on the football team. You can be evaluating. When you've done it, you've evaluated, and then you've made an evaluation. And an exam is an evaluation of your learning. What have you learnt? But teachers, everyone in work, also likely to have an evaluation of how they're getting on at work. So that's our word map for evaluate. Now let's look at some examples of things that can be evaluated. Here's our word again, evaluate, and your work is evaluated. When your teacher marks your work, that's what they're doing. They're evaluating it, and often you will be asked to evaluate your own work to say how you think it went, what you were pleased with, what you could do by yourself, what you might have needed some help with. Like I said in the word map, you can evaluate science experiments. Do they work? Were they a success? Or do we need to think again to try something different? You can evaluate a meal. Is it good? Is it the best meal you've ever had? I hope you like mushrooms if you're having this one. And you might evaluate a new computer game or a console. What do you like about it? What works well? Is there anything that doesn't work well? Is there anything that could change to make it even better? Those are all examples of how we evaluate something.
I've talked about evaluate meaning to think about something and judge it, decide if it's good or bad, if it works or doesn't work. So now try evaluating something for yourself. You may have an idea already, or your teacher might have something that they want you to evaluate. But if you're stuck for ideas, here are some suggestions.
You could evaluate a painting like this. Do you like it? Why? Do you think the artist who painted it was skillful? You could evaluate a sports team you follow, a particular player, or a skateboarding trick like this.
Or you could evaluate some music. What do you think about it? Do you like it? How does it make you feel? Listen to the music at the end of this video. What's your evaluation of that? So happy evaluating, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.